Hello members, this is another in the continuing series of cradle to grave trades. We really have just two on right now. It's the BABA and the GLD in terms of the ones we're tracking. Of course, other trades in the portfolio, a lot of them just like BABA in terms of breakouts. What we're looking at in the case of BABA here is we're looking at a retrace back into anchored support. And what I mean by that is if you look at these two bars, that's this bar and this bar, right? As price moved up, you got a little over under right here, right? So you get over, back under, right? So over on the high, under, you close under. That leads to a small pullback, an attempt to get back up there that fails, and then leads to the deeper retrace. And so that sort of a scenario, right, is not uncommon after a huge move. I mean, this thing went from 85 to almost 100. So that's a 15% move on the upside. Now, recognize there was a small ABCD structure here. So a little bitty tiny one, right, that projected to about there. It did that. It came back in, did not quite test that bottom, got close but not quite. 92.91 was the low, got to 93.12. As it pulled back, right, a little doji, pushes back up. Where's it going to go? Well, what's it doing? It's, that's the question you really have to ask. It's setting up a range up here. And that is that range for some period of time is going to confine price. It could expand to the upside and to the downside. So in other words, if we want to be a little safer about it, we could say that range is about here. What you want to do in such a range, depending on what the general market's doing, is you want to take some small profits on the top side, buy some on the bottom side. Once it starts to show you what the range is, and the first clue of that was this trade down here that bounced right where it should. So in other words, we know that the buyers are coming in where they should. That gives us confidence to buy that bottom on the next trip down. Could we have bought it here? Yeah, it was possible, but the general market wasn't really as strong. If we pull over and look at the S&P 500, for example, the S&P 500 has been seeing some pressure back into this, and that, of course, affects BABA. We didn't know if this was going to potentially break the swing point lows down here at the time, and so, we were a little bit more cautious, and it doesn't hurt to just let the market tell you what it wants to do and to prove to you that this is strong. If we look at it on a weekly, very strong. If we look at it on a monthly, of course, also very strong. So I think everything is in order here. It's doing exactly what you want. If it closes over this swing point high, we'll have a bullish trend. And certainly if it closes over that one, and we do have volume, and we're trading into the bottom of this one, 99.05, which is the resistance point that we hit. I would not be surprised to see BABA trade sideways, which is an opportunity if we trade it right, which is an opportunity, let me go find my daily again, is an opportunity for us to actually build a position higher. And that was what I was about to say, right? So we want to use this period of time to add further and fill out that position if you don't have it as big as you want it. And so that's the opportunity. If you already have it as big as you want it, you try to sell a little bit into the highs and then build it back up on the lows. Okay, that's BABA. The other name was gold. Let's look at gold right quick. Now, gold is actually getting that retrace that we talked about. And the expectation is that we would see it. Big bars here, bottoms there, haven't quite got to it. That's the buy point on the first trip back. That's on GLD. Got a big spike up on the employment news on Friday. Why the market decided that it was worth spiking, I have no idea, but it ended up lower. This thing's going to come down and trade into this bottom range now. The congruent area is here. It's between these two bars. That's where it's trying to get to. I expect it's probably going to hold the first time into this area. That low is about 125. We could trade a little bit lower. Let's look at the weekly. That lower area I'm talking about is here. It's about 124. And all your big bars are nested up in there, about 122 to about 125. So that's the area that I expect the buyers to come back in, buy it again. We could get deeper, of course, and eventually potentially will get deeper. So if I pull this back, right, that range can expand down into here. Actually, let me just draw it with a range bar. I would think that the range could expand to this wide before it's over. Right now it's a little narrower, right? And probably will stay that way for a little while, but you can certainly see this extend down into this area eventually before this is all over, and that's going to be the sweet buy most likely. So can we buy here and sell in any bounces? Sure, we can do that. But we want to be, we already have a position, a good sized position. We want to be kind of careful where we buy and how much we buy. And we do want to sell some back into strength on the bounces for now. And I want to pull that daily back up to look at that. Where's the strength that we should be selling into? Well, there was two ranges previously up here. There was one, yeah, that's about where it goes. And then the lower one, right, and then potentially we break this a little bit farther. But anyway, the main thing is that these are the bars. Let's draw it in a different way. The main thing is these are the ledge bars on the way up. You've got the volume on this one. You have some volume on that one on the breakdown, and there's some decent volume over here on this one. So I think anything up into this little range right here is probably the ideal sell spot. And if you notice on Friday, that's exactly what they did. They came in and sold that right on that sell spot. So that's the way gold shapes up. First buys are here, sells are up there. Eventually can trade down into this area. Okay, that's it for this week and for the Cradle to Grave series. See you next time.